All right, welcome back, everybody. You don't know, Wade is here with me again. Um, just hope everybody is all right. And staying safe during this lockdown period. What I'm call it again, Wade? Stay at home.
Yes, sir.
All right. Also, want to send a big shout out and I get well soon to one of our correspondents. You might call it Simo B. Get well soon, Simo,
Get
and
well
hopefully
soon,
you'll be
Simo.
back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hopefully
Keep,
you'll.
keep fighting.
Yeah, man. Hopefully you'll be back with us soon. Um, Anyway, we are here to discuss the aftermath of the Prefontaine Classic, the Diamond League event that happened over the weekend. I think we've all gotten over the initial shock of two things. Firstly, Lane's performance, outstanding 10.54, very close to Flojo's record. Now everybody's saying it's in sight and she can do it, which I think it's very possible, and we could probably be seeing that record um, soon. I think she runs again in Lausanne, I think this weekend. Anyway, the other thing that surprised people with is the performance of one Sha'Carri Richardson that represents the United States. There are a few issues that I'm going to have to look into. You know what I mean? But let me get your impressions on the race itself.
Um, I'm not the greatest track and field fan, but
Mm,
just from being a Jamaican and knowing and understanding the dynamics of farm, anybody that wants to, I see a lot of people commenting on Twitter, oh, Jamaica is just a small island with 3 million population, and how are they dominating track and such a sprinting in such a global level? That's because that's what we study.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is the one thing Jamaica have, what is ours. Brazil have football, Jamaica have track. Every picnic know how to run a race, know how to start and pluck and catch a farm in a stride. That is what we do. And it was really nice to see all three ladies execute beautifully.
Yeah,
Wonderful start. And then just watch them come into their strides and watch how the other ladies' farm struggle to keep up with them. It was a masterclass. It was a
yeah,
masterclass in every single display. And this is something I don't think we has been getting a lot of coverage with this race. Not only did these girls perform
yeah,
top class in their sports,
yeah,
but how they carried themselves after with the interviews, even with reporters trying to prod fires at
yes,
Sha'Carri, how
yeah,
they held their composure,
yes,
how they
exactly.
showed, humility and grace.
Yeah,
And I think that is the two biggest lessons that not
yeah,
only Sha'Carri,
mm-hmm.
but Jamaica Twitter we need
Yeah,
to learn humility and
yeah,
grace.
yeah. I am
I
guilty
just
of
say
some of
open
that.
with that.
I am guilty of some of that too because I
We,
laughed. I must admit, I laughed. But then
the
I sat,
world now.
yeah, the world laughed because it was a major blunder. You know what I mean? And
And
then I sat down and I thought about it. And then I said, because I saw the young lady, she might have not shed tears, but me know when somebody a ball, brother. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That post race interview, some of those deep breaths that she took were holding back tears, bro.
Of course, because her ego was shattered. Because
Shattered.
she wasn't speaking to the audience or the reporter. She was speaking to herself. I'm
Yeah.
not done.
Yes.
I'm the sixth fastest in this ever. She was talking to herself. She was
Of
trying to
course, she was
build back.
reassuring herself.
Exactly. She just left her whole career on the shattered on the track. You
Yeah.
know? And I want to also point out that, we need to remember also people that these people sacrifice their lives to
Yes.
perform at this level. She's
Yes.
an elite athlete.
Yes.
Let's get this right. She's
Yes.
an elite athlete. And to perform that level, the amount of sacrifice in your personal life, in your studies, it's a lot. And give her props for that, you
Yeah.
know. But
I,
she didn't do herself any favors by running off her mouth. Even her fellow Americans
mhm.
said the same thing.
Yeah. It was obvious that there was a much bigger issue than Sha'Carri versus the Jamaicans. I think a lot of even the US sprinters felt slighted by not not only her comments but the promotion that went behind her, and she didn't accomplish what they accomplished. You understand?
Mm, right.
Biggest accomplishment is winning the US trials and putting in two different decent performances.
And setting
And
those
and
leading
that's,
time.
yeah, and you don't celebrate that. That's like celebrating, trying to celebrate your graduation when you're just in a grade one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't me I give you a high school cap and gown when you're just in a grade one.
Right. You
Yeah,
just
you
start
don't go to the big show yet. You don't go for the big school yet. You understand?
fully.
Yeah, and the minute they lift her out of that class, there's a major difference between running NCAA track, and local US trials and running on that global stage, that Diamond League, that um world championship, that Olympic trial, that Commonwealth Games, whatever. Although USA not really participating on them things there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it takes a certain level of composure and exposure that the child has not gotten as yet. And I also feel that her handlers and her sponsors set her up. You understand? They put her on a.
Explore. I want to explore that. What do you mean by that? Especially from the point of view of the sponsors. Why you say
All
they
right.
explore that?
You see, anybody that follows the track world, the average Jamaican knows more about track, without a doubt, than the average
Without a doubt.
American, because it
No
means
doubt.
more. It means more here. You understand? So
For sure.
when you have a case like Sha'Carri now, where like we say, she obviously has the potential. You know what I mean? She have
Definitely.
she has the following. A large amount of it is due to the controversy after the weed. They put her life story out there. To say she has an interesting life story, but it's not more interesting than anybody else's. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
But
man, for sure.
it's up. But I'm not going to tell no athlete. You see, Shakira put her life story out there. Put your own. So if you don't want to do that, don't do that. If you all you want to do is go and run, make your money and go to your yard and keep your business private, do that. You understand? If you want all that publicity and all of that, you're going to have to take that Shakira route. She was young enough to say, all right, she wanted to take that route. She's from a generation where they like the recognition. You understand?
Right.
And that's another thing we have to look into, like personal responsibility and them thing there.
I
Um,
think also she in the beginning she also started to come under a lot of criticism for her style, you know.
yeah,
She's very flamboyant, we can see that, you know.
yeah,
Even Shelley, who is known to bring the hair game in a competition, can't hold a candle to how far she got. She take it to another level. And
yeah,
I know that in the beginning, when she set the record, I know a lot of negative commentary came out from a lot of sports pundits in the States saying, you know, she toned down on this and, you know,
yeah, man.
attacking her like that already, which she needs to learn to take those things with a grain of salt and look into it as well. They are saying a lot because that is also bringing a lot of unwanted attention to Sha'Carri. You know what I mean? People
Yeah,
aren't focusing on your running anymore, right? We're
yeah,
looking at them, that cocaine encrusted eyeliner you wear at the event where, come on, girl, it looked like it was matter in her eye. Do better. You know, we shouldn't
yeah.
even have
It's
that to
like,
talk about.
yeah, and I don't want to make it a thing about looks, because I saw a thing on Twitter what actually got me in an argument when I
No,
realized it was too
but
late. It
that's
was
my
a
whole
troll.
point.
Yeah, they were
That's my
trying
whole
to
point.
make it about looks. But hold on, I'm gonna
But
say
she's
something.
bringing it on herself, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, because she does do distasteful things, but I want to say something. You see, when you have somebody that young, it matters who's around you and the character of the people that you have around you. You understand?
Right.
Them say, you see, a friend when I check for you, or just there for use you, worse than my brother. And I feel she have some of those in her circle. I
For
think
sure.
you have have people telling her, get the bag, get the bag, get the bag. Because them know them can get a piece of the bag.
Yeah, man.
But them not tell her get the PR team in. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. Them
Get
just
the
say, do you,
stylist
boo?
in.
Get the bag and do you.
Yeah, get the stylist in. Because yo, keep that. Keep the hair, keep the nails, keep all of that. Just refine it. You know what I mean? Keep
Right.
that energy. Just refine it. Know how to bring yourself across without cursing. All of that. You know what I mean?
Which,
Because
in her
at the
credit,
end
too,
of the day,
she apologized the very next interview after that, too, for
yeah,
cursing.
because
She give her
obviously there are older people around. Remember, so this girl raised by her granny and her auntie.
Okay.
You understand?
But
She
did she grow up in Louisiana or did she grow up in
Texas.
Texas?
She's from Texas.
Mm.
You understand? And why I identify with her and start looking to it is because when my hear she grew up with her granny and her auntie, it remind me of me.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of us aren't raised by a mother and father, but um, some of us don't come away with certain issues. But for a young lady, it's kind of different than for a young man because you kind of need a little bit more guidance. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And then she's coming
Yeah.
up in a world that's different than mine because I'm old enough to be her father.
Exactly.
You know what I
And she's
mean?
coming in that social media era,
Yeah.
so her whole her whole outlook on the world is different.
Yeah. And guidance is key, especially when you have something that is that valuable of an asset. I think this is where her family have to step in and say, listen, you can change our destiny. You can give us generational wealth. Park the ratchet shit, pardon my language, and sort out yourself. You understand?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah. Yeah.
don't think a lot of us, like young enough black people, understand that when you have an
which which
opportunity.
which goes back to my earlier point. She needs to be
Yeah.
emulating Elaine and Shelley in more than just track and field performances.
It,
How
the
they
funny thing
carry
is, I
themselves
think they could emulate each other.
through that too.
You know what I mean?
That's true
Because
too.
she has something that she brings to the table. She makes people tune in to watch it. Albeit a lot of it has to do with the machine that is behind her, which is the
So you're
Nike
saying
and the
she's
US
she's
media.
she's the female Conor McGregor of track
Yeah. You see, this is what happens now, what's going on in US
in
sports.
sports in general,
Yeah, in
global
sports in
sports.
general. Let me get this point across so people can get this straight. What is happening now, where you say they might do a Kim Kardashian love and hip hop thing with sports. When you say YouTubers are fight professional boxers, MMA man are fight boxing man, Sha'Carri being promoted like she is the fastest woman next to Flojo when in reality she wasn't. You know what I mean? Because what happened to her isn't her fault really, It's the machine,
It's a system.
yeah, that promotes these things. You understand? Them not give
Yeah.
a damn about stats or records or the facts no more. They just want to sell an event. And it's the first time it's happening in track and field. And the track world will not have it. You understand? You are going to be ridiculed. This is not Logan Paul versus McGregor. This is a global event where,
I
in
think
terms
no,
of,
but it's really just a matter of time though,
yeah, man, where
because I'm going to
rules
show you.
matter. Yeah,
Where it's all about notoriety and image, because it's not only in sport we've seen this in. So let's
yeah,
be fair, we
yeah,
saw it in the last US presidency,
yeah,
right? And honestly, it's if they put another person like that, you're gonna need we're gonna see this. We're gonna see in the future people like Oprah, people like The Rock.
yeah,
We're going to see people like that run for president, because that's where the
yeah.
world is now. It's all about notoriety.
We will
And
see that.
even if look at even how
No skill set, just clout.
look at even yeah, no skill set, just clout. That's exactly it. You look at um, I don't want to draw on him alone, but they have people who are just like him. You look at like I don't know if you know Ty Lopez,
No, what does he do?
internet business sensation. Why is he
Okay.
so rich? Why is he so rich? He got rich out of not. He just peddles anything, even to a certain extent.
Mm,
Think there's like him, but he has more substance. That
mm.
Garvey guy, why name? You know what I'm talking about, man.
No, man, I don't know.
Why name? Garvey. That little white shark guy, man. Man everywhere.
Okay. I
You
think
know
I
what I'm talking
might
about?
know who you're talking about. When I try to tell you about the stocks when I'm investing in.
Yeah, him always tell you about how to do business and him always
Yeah, yeah,
encourage
yeah.
you to do business.
Yeah.
Him is like, I don't know, him is like a mix between a Ty Lopez, like a venture capital, entrepreneurial,
Let me tell you
plus
something,
a
bro.
motivational speaker
Let me
like
tell
Tony
you something.
Robbins. But what are these guys? Them just come up. It's just popularity bring them about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I wouldn't go far and say, yo, it's a scam, but it's clout is more believable right now, or
Cloud
it's
chasing is a
perceived to be
big
more
thing.
believable right now than your track record.
Yeah, cloud is
I,
more important than your
mm,
actual accolades and your actual worth. You
yeah.
know?
Because put it this way, people get paid for being famous.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a
You
result
and
of
you
that is the
you
world
are
that we live
right when you talk about Kim Kardashian. You are right because she's really the genesis,
in. Yeah,
right? When
that's
you
where it
look at
starts.
what's her name, Bad Barbie, the Catch Me
Mm,
Outside girl.
mm.
You know, so
You
she
understand?
before OnlyFans go lockdown, right?
Mm-mm.
She go on OnlyFans for 2 days, a weekend,
Yeah.
and lock $1 million.
All right.
This is just half of donations
And to
alone.
me, I'm looking at that like, yo, that's probably pedophilia because she didn't even probably reach it yet.
You understand what I'm saying to you,
We
bro?
live in a weird society. Yeah,
And
but back to the on the track thing now, man.
yeah,
When you see the marketing company, you think Nike don't know the times? You think Nike don't know when they put her between Elaine and Shelly, she don't go crack?
yeah, and she
You
wasn't the
think the
only
marketing team haven't sat down with this girl and evaluate her?
she wasn't the only Nike sponsored athlete in the race, but she was the only one who
Exactly.
got bigged up by Nike.
Yeah, she got set up. And I don't want to go into the political implications of it, but we know how things work across the pond there, across
But
up north there.
but
You understand?
even if she did, right?
Yeah.
I have to I have to blame her for it because
Yeah, man. And that's why I say it's
she
important
could
to
have
have
turned
around you.
that around and use it to her advantage. You know, she
Yeah.
could have just won the race and say, well, I want to give everybody a thanks for the opportunity, big up to the girls that won. You
Mm,
know, I really just came back out to do the sport that I love and stretch my legs and get back into the game. We'd have loved our fight.
hmm.
Yeah? And it
Yeah.
would have propelled her even better. No, she's been ridiculed by everybody, include I thought it was just Jamaicans alone, but when I check it out, even Americans are laughing after her for the
Yeah,
same things
because
we're
here what
talking about.
happened now.
She ran her
They
mouth
were
too much.
they were sold a world champion and they got a last place finisher.
Mm,
Imagine that.
yeah,
What you think would have happened if Elaine went there and finished last?
the same thing.
Sha'Carri win. It's only fair. If it was a men's race, what do you think would happen?
Yeah,
It's sports. Once you put yourself out there, your performance is up to be ridiculed
right.
or evaluated at the least.
Harshly evaluated, let's say.
Yeah, you understand? People. That's
Right,
what people like me and you are. That's what we do. You
right.
understand? We evaluate performances, or we probably might look ahead and say, "Boy, is it possible for this person or this team to win?" Or what do we expect? You understand? Um, a lot of people who are not necessarily into track and field got sold the Duppy story. You understand?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
I definitely evaluate. Elaborate.
if you check the people them know where watch thing there, a lot of people are Sha'Carri fans never watch the Olympics. You're not really track and
Mm,
field fans, so them wouldn't know that Sha'Carri don't have a chance against. Elaine, Shelley, or Sharika.
Right, especially that she wasn't even prepared. Them
You
coming hot
understand?
off Olympics, them
Yeah.
fully seasoned.
And Talu and the next American girl will come forth.
Yeah,
Those are five people in the race where she have to be on her A game for
A
beat
game.
those professionals. I'm not even
No,
gonna
just
leave
to
it at just
not even to
Elaine and
beat,
Shelley.
just to be
Yeah.
in close enough to beat them.
Yeah.
A game, just
So that's up.
to
Mm,
go to the finish line beside them.
exactly.
Yeah,
So yeah, talk about seasoned athletes, professionals who can execute a race from start to finish. That have
masters of
been
their
there.
craft.
Yeah, that have been there, run at multiple world championships, most of them. And then you have a little Brianna. Who beat her? You understand?
Hmm.
She's probably raced Brianna before because Brianna run upon the American circuit more than probably most of the girls them. You know what I mean? And
Right.
she's probably beat Brianna before. You understand? But at the same time, if Sha'Carri don't learn self-discipline and how to adjust,
Grace and humility.
humility, and they must say, why are you telling a black woman to be humble? I'm telling you to be humble so you can be successful, Queen.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
You have all the right to brag and boast as much as you want. But you see, if you don't win, you look stupid.
And you're
That's
only as
why,
good as your last lead.
yeah, you're only as good as your last race, your last result.
Exactly.
You understand? Um, Psychologically, these things are hard to get over. You understand? I
And I
suggest a
think
therapist.
being humble
Yeah,
eases the attacks on you, which makes you to be able to cope mentally better with it
yeah,
down the run. If you're just humble at the end of the race, you understand? You We would not be talking about you for how long now? Is almost a week or how much days now,
yeah. Let
right?
me, yeah,
We'd have forgotten about it the next day. She would
yeah,
have been
man.
able to move on with her life.
I think the people around her need to hear something too. You are responsible. The people around her are responsible, especially the older people. You understand?
Yeah.
You know the issues that this child is facing. She's on her way to the Olympics and she's so stressed out that she decided to smoke a spliff. The child need a
Mm.
therapist, bro. She needs a
I
therapist. Has she been to therapy for deal with what she got through? For her many
have you
issues?
heard the conspiracy theories about that though?
That what?
The weed smoking,
That it
masking
could be a
agents.
masking agent.
Yes.
Um, no, not for sound harsh. But when you see somebody go from 10.8, 10.7s at wind aided 10.6 to 11.14,
Exactly.
being out a month is not an excuse unless you weren't training. And if you weren't
Right.
training, fire your coach. Fire
Exactly.
your coach, your manager, your advisors, everybody. You understand? So yeah,
Exactly.
it does look suspect, but I'm not going to say that is what happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
It does look suspect. Because weird enough, as much as I should put off people, I kind of want to see her win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As in, I don't want to see her beat our girls. Why don't I want to see her be a complete failure?
Right.
You know what I mean? It matters as a black man. I mean,
Right.
might not be
Right.
an American black man, but it matters as a black man. You understand? And as a black father of a black girl, it matters.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we look at certain things in certain situations and we see our children. You know what I mean? We see our
And she's
generation
a
who have to
very young
come.
girl at 21 years old, so
Yeah.
she's just getting, she's just learning this adult thing,
Yeah,
you
she
know.
don't get it yet. Here, listen to
Definitely.
her talk, listen to how she handle herself. She don't get it yet. You
Definitely.
have you have some 21 year old who still have like a 16, 17-year-old brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It will click. But like I said, for an athlete, self-discipline is key, bro. You know what I mean? Self-discipline, a certain level of self-respect. humility, a certain
I
level.
would say it's not even key, it's necessary, you
Yeah,
know?
and
You
another
have to
thing,
have
yeah, it's true. Another thing in athletics is a camaraderie between competitors.
right,
Eventually, they become friends. You know what I mean?
right,
Um, is even in football, you play against certain teams so often. Is like you become friends with the opposition because you might not be training with them every day, but you play against them. You know what I mean?
right,
So often you start know a man game like him and one of your teammates. You know what I mean? So you build a
right.
camaraderie. It becomes you respect somebody who have talent. You know what I
Like
mean?
a Shaka
It-
Charles Barkley.
yeah, you know what I mean? So it's very important that you keep this in mind and try to have that camaraderie with your competitors as well as your teammates. As
Yeah.
although track is not really a team sport.
But then even look at Cristiano Ronaldo,
Hmm.
Christian Messi,
Hmm.
right? You've never heard either party say anything bad about the other one. And
No,
they seem to celebrate the
the
other's
rivalry.
victory just as much.
Yeah,
Because
and they have
they
profited
respect
off
each
the
other.
rivalry. They
Exactly.
have both made money off the rivalry,
Exactly.
and that's
You
what
know?
a lot of you don't have to tear down the other person to make money
And I think
off
they
that
also know
person
that
being rivalry.
you have to respect the other person because that's what's going to keep you sharp.
Yeah,
You have to have that respect. You have to know. You have to give them the respect when also them boy are bad.
yeah,
And if me wants be better than or on the
yeah,
same level as,
yeah,
I have to respect and push myself just as hard as him. You know, say
yeah,
yo, you know what I mean.
yeah,
You have to have that respect, and
yeah,
that
man.
is another thing where she definitely she definitely needs to learn. And back bitches really, if you're back at them.
No, and you see, you do that is that's what it come to come back to that lack of global awareness. You can't call a Jamaican woman a bitch. You're lucky she never step in your back with her spikes when she done.
Yeah, Jamaican Twitter did though.
Yeah, man. You can't. You see, if in America that's common lingo. A girl will look upon the next girl and say, "That's my bitch." In
Right.
Jamaica, you can't do that, brother. You understand? And that is a lack of global awareness of a difference in our cultures. And as an international athlete, you have to know them things, there, brother. Because why you gonna wind up people where you know definitely you've never run their times in your life? Don't do that.
And it's not only alone, it's not only she alone she throw dirt pan or
Yeah,
shade on.
yeah,
Because when her teammates were
yeah,
running in the Olympics and losing to
yeah,
us, she was there saying, "Miss me yet?" As if to
yeah.
say, "They're nothing without me."
After that, I think they had incident with a button or something like that. And my
Something
girl,
like that, right?
yeah. As
And
in like
Miss me yet?
when Gabby tweeted that, yo, listen, please don't boycott. Watch, because there are other sisters out there that need the support.
Yeah,
My girl and her fans touched the girl. You know what I mean?
right. And that is a very good such a very good analogy now, Ali, because you look at Gabriel, right?
Mm,
Bowed out with grace,
mm,
the media pick at her, but now she's old news.
mm.
Nobody even talking about her anymore. You know what I mean?
No
And
man, not that Gabby. The track athlete Gabby.
also talking about
The,
the
the
gymnastics girl.
no man, that's a whole different conversation because one day we have to go sit down and talk about some of the
That is,
politics that are involved in our sports.
and,
But
and we need to really discuss the mental challenges that they have to go through because
yeah.
the Osaka girl
Mm,
in tennis, that is another conversation too
yeah.
that I'd love to dive into.
Hmm. It
I don't know
comes
if you
down.
saw that press conference where she and the reporter went at it.
No, I didn't. I will probably need to watch it and do a reaction video to it.
Yeah,
Um, Let me tell you something. What is happening now is the amount of pressure that is put on young people that aren't necessarily prepared to deal with this level of success and these large corporations and these governing bodies and institutions. that want to pull you left, right, and center and tell you how to live your life, and then you have the public chipping in with their opinion, and then you have the media and all of that. It's a lot. You
It's definitely a
understand?
lot.
Yeah, and it wears on you mentally. That is why we're even having this discussion about Sha'Carri. You understand? And what happened? You understand?
Yeah.
Because this has never happened before. You've never seen an athlete promoted to this level and flopped this badly. You can't tell me that Nike invested this much money, did that much promotion, and didn't know that she wasn't running sub tens.
Are you saying she's the biggest sports flop in history? No, man.
No, we'd
Can't
have
be.
to go back and check, but definitely one of them.
For sure.
You know what I mean? For a
For
single
sure.
event like this.
That is for sure.
I'm gonna even not try to be harsh, like you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we have to be realistic. It was a debacle.
It was. It was. I mean, them have them have YouTube clips of just people reacting to the race alone. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean that alone is golden. You
yeah.
know?
You know what I mean?
It
So
was really shocking.
yeah. Um, and then we have to look at it now and say, yo, the US media. What is the US media doing to the black community? They misled the people. They got them hype. You know what I mean? You get a set of people hype because the story came out, bam. She smoked the weed, she not going to the Olympics. And a bag of people is like, let her run, let her run, let her run. Right?
Right.
Celebrities, all kind of people. You think did they stop to think that what them are do is putting other black women at a disadvantage?
How so?
So you're gonna sacrifice the rest of the black woman them for one who couldn't hold her discipline.
Mm. Okay.
You understand?
Right.
Um she won it and she deserved to go, but she threw away that opportunity when she smoked that spliff. You understand?
Yeah.
The fact that you lost your mother shouldn't be the reason why you smoke that spliff. It should be the
Listen.
motivation. Well, I know it should be the motivation for you to go to the Olympics and get that gold medal. It shouldn't
That's
motivate you for go smoke a spliff.
that's to me
You
that's
understand?
100 crazy though. Like
Hmm?
I've never heard of any. I mean, how many athletes have you ever heard get tested positive for weed? It's not a, normally it's like after a long. The last person I remember is Rio Ferdinand
Mm.
after a season break.
Yeah,
A little trace left back. You know,
yeah,
because the man knows the off season touch
yeah.
up a thing. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I don't, like to be honest with you, I don't even think it matter if she smoke as long as she did it in the off season. If they catch marijuana in your system in the off season, they don't matter. Them not ban you.
Exactly.
You
That
cannot
is why I'm
smoke
saying
it
it. So
during
it makes no
competition.
sense.
You
She, what
understand?
I'm trying to say is, she's either really, really stupid or she's being really smart in hiding something. I'm telling you. Why would you smoke? I don't care. That's because her mother died,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're in a competition. You in the Olympics is now. You're not in Olympic year. Any athlete who is serious about the Olympics and they
Mm.
know they're in an Olympic year, right? Some male athletes stop having intercourse long
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
right? That is how prepared they are becoming.
Months,
Months.
months. Same
Oh,
thing in
you
a
fuck.
boxing.
Exactly.
When a man going to training camp, him and the woman ain't nothing.
Nothing.
You
Right? So if
understand?
you're at a level of preparation, oh, you just easily fall back into a spliff. Yes, what you say have some merit about the people around her, but
Yeah.
as a professional athlete, that
Yeah,
should
go
never.
drink something, bro. All right. If you know, say, oh, you can't go have a drink.
Exactly.
It'll be out of your system in the morning.
Exactly.
Understand?
And it's not an illegal substance.
You understand?
You know?
Them not go ban you for Hennessy.
Exactly.
You understand?
If it really need to hit you so hard. She
You
should have
understand?
prepared better. She should have been better
Yeah.
for that. You know?
So I'm gonna know who under the spliff.
Yeah.
You need to whoever under that spliff, you need she need for cut them out of her
Cut
life
out of your
forever.
life.
You understand? And I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm telling you something to everybody out there. I am not against marijuana. In my
No way,
profession,
no
a
how.
lot of my clientels are actually involved in the marijuana industry and the
Industry.
psychedelic industry. I produce a lot of videos for people in that industry. You understand? So I have nothing against that, but I'm also a sports fan, and I know
There's a time and
and a
place for
place for
everything.
everything. You understand? I'm also a black father of a young black girl. You understand? I'm a no say, oh, I have to teach her personal responsibility, or things like this will happen to her. Because at the end of the day, her lack of discipline led to her being taken advantage of and being embarrassed. And in the long run, she embarrassed her people.
And that also speaks to her not understanding the weight of responsibility of being a superstar.
Yeah,
Right? You after you run that world record time, you need to realize that now every young black girl is looking at me.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You know, is this the example I want to set for them? That is as a responsibility, and she knows this. She's a smart girl.
yeah.
She's a
Like if
smart
you
girl. She
believe,
knows this.
like if you're a conspiracy theory kind of person, you would definitely think that, yo, this was definitely. You see, a lot of people looking at it, and when especially black men look at it and say, "Oh, she needs to be humble. Try to be humble." It's not that we're telling you to shut up. You need to know the difference. Or
Exactly.
sometimes you need to move in silence and violence.
And that is why I accompany humility with grace.
Yeah,
Yeah, because sometimes you just have to be pleasant and just nod. You know, you just say the sucking mother in your head, you don't vocalize it, and you smile. You know, just and that was a perfect example again set by Shelly when she walked past the camera and she
yeah,
said, yeah. But that's all you need to do. You need to know
yeah,
grace.
yeah,
Where Shelly's smile said
mm,
more words than
yeah.
Sha'Carri's whole post post race interview. That little one smile across the camera said so much more than she ever did. And that
Let
is
me tell you
because
something.
she understands grace.
Let me tell you something. Why I said my feel say, yo, as quick as them and set her up, them a tear her down. Them never even give her a minute for catch her breath before them put her back in front of the camera.
The lane, let's talk about the lane selection. That alone shows you that might have been a setup. Huh? That lane selection alone.
That is the point where I start. So this look funny. Why you
Exactly.
gonna put her there? So that's the lane reserved for the fastest person. That should be Elaine's lane. Elaine should have been in the middle, and Shakira and Shelly on either side. Or what's your name?
Right.
Shakar.
Right.
Or Shakari shouldn't even, Shakari should have probably be in a
Like on the outer.
lane two or lane 6 or 7. Because
Right. Right.
it should be Sharika them in the center lanes.
In the center. Right.
Yeah, so
That
Sharika
alone,
should be on
that
one side, Shelly should be on one side, Lane in the middle, and then everybody else on the outskirts.
that
The only person
alone
who get them
speaks
right,
to
Lane and Brianna.
conspiracy. And I'm
Yeah,
not a conspiracy theorist person.
yeah,
But
man.
something was up. It definitely is. And hey, fact of the matter is, Diamond League profited majorly. That race, right?
Yeah,
The coverage of them get off of the race, they
and
alone.
Nike.
And Nike, how
Because
can
it was a
Sha'Carri
Nike event.
their names has been called for days after the event. I will still calling the name up now in this show.
Yeah, because we're not finished with them yet. Because we have to discuss the lack of promotion where them give Elaine.
Elaine, as a
Yeah,
Nike sponsored athlete,
yeah,
not even a congratulations. I don't
yeah.
think it has anything come. I think even Mr.
Throughout her
Adam
whole
Stewart,
career, they've never promoted her.
yeah,
As in to the level that she should have been promoted.
right.
You understand?
I think it was Adam Stewart who came out and said something about that too. Actually
Yeah.
said something to Nike. Shout out to
In
Mr. Stewart.
regards to the 3 athletes or the 4 athletes.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. There's definitely an element of setup to failure. Either way, them would have win, you know. You understand?
And that's another thing that
Mm,
black athletes need to learn
yeah.
to to
Navigate the politics.
identify. You know, when they want us to put on blackface and become the little clown entertainer.
Yeah.
Look at me, right?
Yeah,
We're
man.
always too willing to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't make them turn into a court jester.
Yeah,
Because that's what happened with this little young lady. I know
exactly.
She's definitely, if she understands herself, she know that she's fighting for her career right now.
Of
You
course she
understand?
does.
Because her
That's why she kept
credibility.
saying.
Yeah.
That's why she kept saying, "I ain't done. I'm not done."
Yeah. Because her credibility took take a rotted knocking, bro. And like you say, it's more like she's saying it to herself more than even saying it to the cameras or to the people. It's like
Right,
the shock of it all is like, you know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, man.
And it goes back exactly back to what you're saying. Who are the people around her? They're the
Hmm.
ones filling her up with all this fake ambition and gassing her up. Oh, you're the sixth fastest, whatever, whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
She don't need to hear that. She need to be here and
You
listen,
need to get
take
to
it
number
easy.
one. Don't
Exactly.
tell her about the six fastest. That not help her. Tell her you need to get to number one. That is a mentality that we're talking about. Of this generation, this pampered baby shit. Come on, man. You know what I mean? You can't make a champion like that, bro.
Well, this generation is definitely
You
definitely
understand?
softer
As
than
soon as them
ours.
start pamper, them destroy her.
I saw they came out to show that this generation that was born with social media. So we're talking about post 2000,
Mm.
which I would say Sha'Carri would be in that set, right?
Mhm.
They are more likely to suffer from depression.
Yeah.
6 times.
Yeah.
So it's a fact. They are softer. Mentally, they are softer. And
Yeah,
even
what?
physically, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you don't know,
Mm.
but there is no a skeletal deformity coming about in this generation. We are next because they're always looking down on smartphones. They've been doing
Yeah.
it from
Them neck.
such a young age.
Okay. So them neck. So they
You
come with the
understand?
humps now.
So they are really becoming softer with the.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I have to understand that for them. I don't think it's. I'm not saying it as unnecessarily as a negative. It's just something we
Mm.
need to be aware of,
Yeah.
so that we know how to approach certain things.
You are dealing with more sensitive people.
Exactly.
So we will have to be cognizant of mental health issues, all of that. Also, we're in the middle of a pandemic that none of us have ever like lived through before, and that in itself is stressful globally. You know what I mean? That in itself, I think, is playing a major role in terms of people's mental health, and far more than sports. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that is also something we have to factor into. We never got through some of them things growing up. We've
for
never been
sure.
locked in. Yeah, we've never been locked inside for almost 2 years. We you know what I mean?
Not only that, we didn't have devices that allowed the world to criticize us in real time.
Yeah,
I'm on all the way over in Jamaica. I
yeah,
cuss you. It reach on your phone now.
yeah. It takes a certain amount of like thick skin for put yourself out there. I remember when we just started the show. It's like some of the criticism is like over the top. Some of it you're like, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? You have a point. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
a lot of times people don't care. You know what I mean? You're just a video. You know what I
right.
mean? They don't think about the people behind it.
The person. Yeah,
You understand? And it's the same thing that when you put yourself out there, like a world star athlete or a star level athlete on the global stage, you have to be able to deal with that criticism. You know what I mean? And especially when you're brash. You know
exactly.
what I mean? So if you put yourself out there brash or harsh, you're gonna get back harsh criticism.
Exactly.
And if you're volatile or you're a little bit soft, that can break you and career done.
Because let's just look at even Osaka.
Yeah.
She not even getting half what Serena got. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like Serena and Venus didn't get it.
Yeah, man.
Till it finally get to Serena in the end.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Because listen, I hear them say Sha'Carri has issues because they say she look like a man. That never stopped Venus and Serena, who go through the same thing, who them say look like man. That never stopped them from being world champions.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Not to say it never affect them mentally. You know what I mean? But that never that is a difference. You know what I mean? You
Big
have to be
difference.
mentally strong. And also, they had their father. Shikari never have that.
Right,
You understand? There's a certain level of mental toughness and things where your father can teach you. Your
right.
mother can teach it to you, but if you have a proper father, he's the person that's supposed to teach you that. You understand? So yeah, it comes down to how we are raised our generation, and as black people globally, we have to do better. You know what I mean?
That is 100. And that
Yeah,
goes to all the Jamaican Twitter fans. We have to do better.
yeah.
Right? Not no wrong. She this way.
Mm,
Get her back. Leave it alone now. We
yeah,
don't need to have this Sha'Carri part 3, part 4, part 5.
yeah.
Jesus. Every Instagram Jamaican comedian
I
gone
think
over
we have to
50
be
views.
fair though, because a lot of it is back and forth. The American fans and the Jamaican fans are at it because they honestly the American fans were told Sha'Carri Richardson was the fastest woman in the world, or they were led to believe that.
Okay.
Like the media insinuated that. You understand? Them
Right.
them insinuate that she was going to win the race at Eugene. When if you're a real track and field fan, you know the best she could have come was fourth or fifth.
We can definitely
If she run out
definitively
her skin,
say
she could have come third. You
we
know what I
can
mean?
definitively say that they pushed her as the biggest current American track star
Yeah,
right now. For sure,
yeah,
definitively.
yeah. And there are girls out there in track and field, American girls out there who are beasts. When no Jamaican girl can see them in what them do. You have the
Yeah.
girl, what's her name? Something another Mo. We run the eight.
Okay.
19 years old. Why isn't she being broadcast all over the world? Is what she too dark? She too slim? She look too Kenyan or one of them thing there?
Maybe she
Them
need to
thing them
try
I
that.
talk about.
Need to try
Gabby
that
herself, you know what I mean?
that coke crust up eyeliner and get some
You know
platinum
what I mean?
hair
And
extension.
Shakari is not an ugly girl.
She's
Shakari is
the
not an ugly
video
girl.
the video where she
But the
did the
things that them do
tear.
to her make her look weird.
You need to go to her Instagram and see that makeover vid that she do
Mm,
before the
mm.
race. She look
That's
better in
all.
the chair. She look
Yeah.
better in the chair before
The
them put
natural
on
hair. The
yeah.
natural with her afro, look at afro hair
And
out and them
and I
thing.
don't know what them do to her, what them do with the hair do to her, but it make her features them look more managed. When
It
she was in
makes
the
her look
chair,
a lot
they
older.
look
When
like
she take off all of them things there, she look younger than her age.
exactly. Maybe it's that,
Mm.
you know.
Excuse me. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's just a matter of opinion, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
no
and it's not
disrespect to
about
anyone.
looks
That's your
neither,
thing.
bro.
That's your thing, you know.
Yeah. It's not about looks neither, bro. But
Right.
we have to teach we younger generation for love themselves. You know what I mean?
Well said, sir.
We have to teach them for love
Well
themselves.
said, sir. Well
And
said.
also don't fumble the bag. Because you hear the thing is now, you see, she burned two opportunities already, you know. The first
Right.
opportunity, right, is when she qualified. She worked hard for that opportunity, right?
Right.
She earned that opportunity. And she blew it in a ganja split,
Right.
right? So when she do that, most people that would be the end. Nike pick her up and pay her, give her the bag for free. She never have to run feet. Them say you have
Right.
some followers, take the bag. We're going to set up an event for you for you never get for make a big debut in the Olympics or go up on the global stage. We're going to set up a thing. So you Prefontaine Classic go and train. That's a your thing. I run the promo, we do all of the stuff. We're going to get your management team for do the PR, make sure you get your television appearances, all of that, right?
Right.
Bam. All you have to do is go train, right?
Right.
So you dip on your third chance, your second chance, and all right,
Right.
you come last. So that your second chance to blow right the sign. How
right?
many more chances Visa shall have with white America, corporate white America?
Should definitely have one more
Yeah,
because people want to see more. You know, people want to aware are they know. So right now, she didn't even know where she is. You ain't
yeah,
aware are they know. That is your
yeah.
last chance to do a thing.
If you
You know,
fumble the bag again,
that's it.
yeah, you understand? And we have,
And then on top of that, too, you're not going to get a chance to erase that, and you'll forever be remembered as the girl who came dead last.
yeah.
And they will remember that 10-7.
No, yeah, that is the thing, bro. Do not waste your opportunities.
Exactly.
And that is what is hurting right now. Because I could sit down here a as somebody and say, "Yo, I don't really care about Ray Ray," but it you don't want to see nobody fail like that. I'm not a hater. I don't want to see. I don't like failure. I don't like
Okay.
people who sit down and cry and complain and all of that. You know what I
And
mean?
people who waste
Yeah,
opportunity and
yeah,
talent, and
yeah.
she
Wait,
has a
yeah,
lot of both.
yeah. We know each other for about 20 years now, right?
Yeah,
We don't make opportunities pass. You know that about
exactly,
me. You take the smallest thing and flip it, and before you know it, it'll do something. You know what I mean?
exactly,
You
exactly,
understand? Because I know the value of an opportunity. And we need to teach this generation what come after we that. They don't come often. And a single opportunity can change the course of your life.
exactly. That is
You know
so
what I mean?
true.
Yeah, man.
That's
You
so true.
understand? And having the wrong people around you can ruin your life.
That is also straight facts, too.
You understand? And I feel say, somebody need to tap her on her shoulder and say, "Oh, you need to seize this. Make the best out of it. Not only do it for you, but do it to pay back your grandmother and your auntie for raise you." You understand?
I'm doubtful for that, you know,
Mm,
because I can see she already has a very strong type of influence on her already, you know,
mm, yeah,
about that.
yeah. What we can do is hope for the best and hope say the tempers will flare up on the internet calm down and peace come back, peace may reign. But um definitely the media and the corporate companies where they're behind this thing have to take some level of responsibility for lying to the people. Because at the end of the day, they lie to the people. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Um, yeah. Any final thoughts before we cut?
No, I mean, just all the young black people out there, use Sha'Carri as an example of what not
Yeah,
to do. Yeah?
definitely.
Don't make weed, throw away all that hard work,
Yeah,
right? There's a time and place for that.
yeah,
One, two, don't use your mouth to display your worth. Let your actions do that.
yeah.
And that is what Elaine did,
Yes,
you
exactly.
know, to the point where she has no comment, right?
Yes.
She do all her talking on the field.
Yeah,
And
10.54. You know, what more you have to talk about?
I gotta check the time. Check my time.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
You know?
yeah, man. Real talk, bro. Um, really powerful discussion. I enjoy it. I want to do more content like this where we really sit down and discuss the issues around sports and the mentality that it takes to become a champion and them look at thing there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and the business of sports and them thing there. So I want to thank everybody for joining me. You know what I mean? Definitely. Stay tuned, like, subscribe. You know what I mean? And we'll see you next time.
All right.